Hi everyone, I'm Janice, this is Esther, and welcome to our first episode of Flat 7 Chats.
Sorry, I missed it. We'll get it next time.
Yeah.
No, I think this is fine.
Okay, it's organic. We'll
Yes,
go with it.
This is our podcast talking about growing up and growing old and living in London together. And today's first episode is about birthdays because it's my birthday.
Yeah, pretty on topic. It was Esther's birthday today. Yeah, so what were birthday likes for you growing up?
I don't think my family was very into birthdays, and I don't think we really celebrated. We would do like a dinner, but I think when all of us kind of got busy, we didn't really celebrate anymore. So I never really thought, like, I always felt like I liked birthdays, but I felt like the people around me didn't share that same sentiment. So as a kid, they weren't, like, birthdays weren't that important.
Aww.
No, it's okay. How about you?
I don't know, I mean, I remember there was always cake, and I had a few parties growing up. Like, I remember, especially when you're really young, at like kindergarten age and primary school age, and then you like throw a party and invite all your friends. So that was really fun. Like, I remember, I think I was like 5 years old, and then I had like a Barbie doll cake, like the actual doll in the skirt,
That's so
the
cool.
cake. Yeah.
I've always wanted a McDonald's birthday party.
I had one.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
But then when I look back at the pictures, they're kind of creepy because of the characters.
The clown?
Yeah, like
Ronald McDonald.
just the furry characters. And costume, like they look like super whack.
Oh no.
Yeah, but when I really enjoyed that party when I was young. Yeah, it was always like a special day. But I think as I got a little bit older, like in my preteen age, when I was a little bit angsty.
Would that be like primary school or like when we started
like
secondary school?
Late primary school.
Okay.
I started to like not like my birthday as much.
Why?
I don't know why. I just like didn't want to make a big deal out of it.
Okay.
I'm not sure why.
Did your friends around you like share that same sentiment?
I don't really remember, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I cared very much for birthdays in like around that age either. It was only kind of when like, we went to secondary school and being in like I think a girls' school. Yeah, it was a very different environment when birthdays were really like a big thing. But it wasn't nice. Like it was a very nice change that I welcomed because I like attention. Yeah.
Also, for context, we went to secondary school together.
Oh yes.
So we've been friends since we were 14 and we're 22 now.
Oh my god. Yes.
It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember? Like we used to in secondary school, like everyone would split the cost of a cake. Get a cake.
We would surprise. We would do like a really big surprise. Yeah.
Balloons.
I still have like videos, like a video from my I think 15th birthday when they surprised me. Yeah. But yeah, it was a really big deal. Yeah. Did people like carry balloons around in school? I don't actually remember that.
I think they did, especially those with the walking.
Oh yes, walking balloons. Yeah.
Those were a big thing. Or like the big, eventually became like the big number.
The 4 ones. Yeah. Oh, we were so Tumblr, Instagram. Oh, we were Visco girls.
Yeah, I mean to be honest, all of us aspired to be at that age.
Yeah.
In that time.
That's true. I think like that kind of shaped how I approach birthdays now. I think because I enjoyed it and I felt so loved and I wanted to kind of project that onto other people now. So I think birthdays have become a really big deal. And I also think because a lot of people don't actually like their birthdays. But it's like for me it's like a reminder like, oh, you were born and I'm glad to have you in my life. Aww. So I think it's important to reinforce that idea.
Yeah, that's really sweet. I think, I agree. I definitely enjoy celebrating other people's birthdays more than my own. Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially the past. So last year, my 21st birthday, and this year, 22nd. Past 2 birthdays, like I've just been miserable the night before my birthday, like just crying my eyes out, and I don't really know what it is, just like not wanting to turn that age, or not wanting to accept the realities of turning that age and having that responsibility that society kind of like
imposes on you.
Yeah.
I think my like approach towards birthday changed when I started dating, actually, because I feel like before that it was always with friends, and there was never a reason to have a bad birthday with my friends. But somehow when like boys came into the picture, part of my birthday became reliant on my expectations of them, and it was always disappointing compared to like my friends. I feel like girls just do birthdays better. Not to be
that's really true.
stereotypical, but they just always disappointed me, and because they were such an important like person in my life, it made the birthday like significantly worse than if like a friend were to do that.
Yeah, I also felt that when you were in a relationship, like when I was in a relationship, I felt like maybe there was more responsibility placed on your significant other to like organize the whole thing. So then I don't know how like your friends or like other people would have felt about it, like they can like take a bit of a step back towards the celebrations and stuff. And then I feel like that's why I feel now it's kind of strange, because like I'm not in a relationship, so it's like it feels like a weird age to be celebrating birthdays and like still like having your friends do most of the work, because when like a lot of people
they didn't do that for a while.
Yeah, and for like most people now, it's just like their significant other.
But I think a lot of my friends around me don't have that. Like most of my friends are still single, or like so we still kind of put that expectations on each other. But I mean, not that we're expecting it, but also I lost my train of thought. Like, even if, because for us the girls always came first, so if they were always like, the friends were always a bigger, more important factor, so the responsibility kind of fell on them instead of the partner. Like that's how like my friends, like in the people I've met, that's how I've seen it.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to still think about it.
I love birthdays.
I love birthdays too. No, I love celebrating other people's birthdays.
I like both. Yeah. I just love birthdays. Yeah. So, did you celebrate your How do you celebrate your 20th birthday?
What do I do on my 20th?
Because that was the year, like for me, it was my birthday was during COVID, so we were all in lockdown.
Oh, mine was like right before COVID. Oh, I had like, it was quite nice actually, because I had a few friends, some of my friends from school over. But this was like my first year in uni, so I wasn't like super close to anyone. But then it was nice to just have people that I was like kind of getting close to like come over, and I did like a little thing.
Yeah,
that was really nice. But my 21st birthday was in lockdown, because it was like a lockdown here, and I was like really sad about it.
Yes, I remember.
I was super homesick as well, and then because my birthday's in February, it's always usually around Chinese New Year, which is like the worst time for me to be away from home. But my housemates at that time were like really nice, and they organized so many things for me, and I'm really grateful for that. Yeah.
I remember like Jazz contacting us like to collect things, and then we were organizing everything.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think COVID also kind of changed how we approach birthdays. Yeah, like when it was very weird being at home and not seeing like the people that I usually celebrate my birthday with on that day.
Yeah. And how do you feel now, I guess, because we both moved away from home, like how do you feel celebrating your birthday away from home?
It was so weird. I told you that I initially wanted to fly back during Easter break just so I could spend my birthday with like people that I've grown up with. But I mean, so what we did yesterday was we had some of my friends over, and we did like board games and mala, and it was like a very different experience, because I think these people I'm not as close to as like the people I've grown up with, but I felt like it was important for me, because this is my first year in London, it was important for me to like start kind of setting down my roots And I think that was a nice step to kind of establish my relationships and my friendships and to reinforce these bonds that I have with them.
And it's definitely like an important step towards building a home here.
Yeah.
Because the more time you spend with these people,
Yeah.
the more you feel at home here.
I mean, I miss my friends, but I mean, the nice thing about birthdays is that everyone wishes you, and then you always feel like you feel loved throughout the day. I think that's one of the things I love most about it. Like there's just a small reminder that even if you're far away, people they still care about you, think about you.
Oh my goodness, like one thing about birthdays though is like I never go on Facebook. And then I have a lot of relatives like aunties and uncles who will wish me on there that they post on my page. But I just never see it. And it looks really bad because I went on, like the last time I went on Facebook was at the end of March, which is a month after my birthday. Opened it and I saw all these birthday messages and I had to reply, oh thank you, I'm sorry, I just checked Facebook now because I just never go on Facebook anymore.
I only have 40 friends on Facebook because I restarted my Facebook.
So what do you use Facebook for?
I don't use Facebook. I only have it so that I can log into Spotify. Yeah. And I'm not close to like my extended family, so they wouldn't really wish me. I mean, they would wish me if we were friends on Facebook, but we are not. So, yeah. I only keep my friends close. Am I like
enemies closer?
Oh, yeah, I'm really close to my family. Do your parents like how do your parents approach birthdays now?
They would wish me happy birthday over text.
Yeah. Do they call?
But the thing is, with my parents now, I try to call them every week basically. So I don't really actually call on the actual day, but we'll call at some point and talk. But yeah, I think my mom is really sweet though. Like for my 21st birthday, she wrote me this long letter that was on a Google document, and it was very very sweet. Just yeah, I have a very close relationship with my mom that I'm grateful for, and I think because 21 marks stepping into adulthood and this whole other new phase of your life, it was just nice being able to hear her perspective on certain things that she wouldn't have told me when I was younger. And she made one of those video compilations.
Oh my god!
Of, like pictures of me growing up.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah,
my mom would not be able to operate iMovie.
What do your parents do for birthday?
They just wish me like, and then they say, "What do you want?" And
over text.
Yeah, over text. I mean, we don't call. We're not a calling kind of family. Yeah, but it's nice. I think like we're not a very expressive family, so like birthdays are usually like the one time they'll be like, "Oh, I love you," which is nice to hear that from your parents. Yeah. I think this whole thing started because like 21. Yeah, 21 is an important age. Were you sad? I mean, were you excited? Do you want to talk about the change?
I think throughout my life, I've always felt older than the age that I actually was, especially a few months before. So usually at the end of the year, even like November, December, I already feel like I've turned the next age.
Oh, it might be partly to do with like New Year's too.
Maybe that as well. And yeah, because my birthday it's at the beginning of the year, but yeah.
Does anyone feel older on their birthdays? I feel like I feel older on like New Year's more than my birthday.
I think I feel the same way too. Yeah. And I think birthdays are just such a tricky thing to navigate. I feel like you either like you're like either in denial that it's actually happening, or like you've already accepted that it's happened, but like things on the actual day just feel so surreal to me.
It's weird because it's supposed to be a special, like supposedly it's a special day, but I don't like it. Doesn't feel much different, and you don't physically age. Like nothing changes, so there's no marker that tells you like, oh, you've officially been alive for like this many number of years.
But I mean, well, it's because we're growing every day, and you might not.
Oh.
Whoa! What's the word?
Oh God!
You might not like notice it, but I think it's just all
gradual.
gradually you grow, and different events that happen in your life that make you grow. So like your birthday is just like, you know, a day for you to celebrate and for everyone around you to celebrate, but then, you know, I think it's more of the progression through time.
It's a milestone.
Yeah. But it's always nice to have celebrations.
Yeah. I think being in school was like, that's kind of like the formative years around birthdays. Like, I mean, because there's like this audience around you.
Yeah.
That maybe that's why like birthdays was such a big thing.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it became a bit of a spectacle.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Especially in junior college.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because I don't know how it was like for anyone else, but in our school, the whole like whipped cream.
Oh my God, that was.
Thing,
I hated that.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but people would just make a big spectacle out of birthdays and like chase each other around with whipped cream. Or I know the guys would do some hazing things, which.
That's not what. No, we are anti-hazing. We're a girls' school.
Wholesome vibes only. But
this is a girls' school household.
Yeah, but I think it's also just like having that whole audience of different people in school, like being like, oh, it's that person's birthday today.
Yeah, it's an attention thing.
Yeah.
I feel like we had more to talk about.
How long is it? Oh, it's only been 17 minutes.
I think that's accurate.
Wow. It felt like it's been half an hour. What else?
Leading up to it, birthdays. I think I always actually dread it more than on like the days leading up to my birthday. But on the birthday itself, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy.
I think I always get really excited the days leading up to it. Oh, no. But then I also feel like the day itself, I get a little bit let down because I get so excited leading up to it.
Yeah. That's actually, I feel like that's how I felt about it in the past, like before secondary school.
No, I definitely enjoyed birthdays a lot more when I was a kid.
Also before secondary school? Like 12?
Not 12.
Before that.
Yeah, right. Because when you're really young, you just want to get older, so you... Yeah. I don't know if you were like that, but I always just wanted to get... I always wanted to get older and older, so I was like, oh yeah, I'm like 9 years old, I'm like 10 years old, double digits, like, you know.
Yeah. No, I never wanted to get older because I feel like I saw so much, like so many posts that were like, oh, like when you're a kid you want to get older, but when you're an adult you want to be young. So I was like, oh no, I have to like hold on to this. Like this is my.
How old you saw
I don't know, like pretty like tweens, like 12 onwards. Yeah, I think that's when you start wanting to grow up, right? Or like, oh, you mean like before that? I honestly, birthdays before like SC didn't mean anything. They were just so irrelevant. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, turning 22. I mean, I feel like 21, turning 22, like the days leading up to it were really scary. Because, like, I called my mom, but we didn't call for, like, my birthday. She was just calling to, like, check in on other stuff. And she mentioned that this year, for the Burmese calendar, my birthday lines with, like, my actual birthday. Like, so it felt like that she put, like, it felt like there was an importance placed on this particular birthday. And I was going through a lot before that. So I felt this pressure, and I felt like I wasn't achieving what I wanted to be achieving by 22. And I also, like, as I grow older, I feel like I drift further and further away from what I thought I was going to be. And that's, like, the main thing that I dread about birthdays.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about this on the bus today. We were saying that life doesn't really have a set timeline, you know.
True.
And 22 is still a really young age.
Yes, but I want to pass at 69.
But there's like, even if you pass at 69, you still have
I only
so
have
much.
45 years left. Wait, 47.
It's still so much time.
I know. I have to buy a house and a dog and a cat.
You don't have to do all these things. It's just cause
the pressure that society or like people around us put on turning old. Like, were there milestones that you felt like you needed to hit when you turned certain age?
Not till now, but I feel like maybe in the coming years there'll be more pressure feeling that way. And I think especially from where we're from, I think that's just this set pathway or expectation that people go down where it's just like get married by a certain age, have kids by a certain age. And I don't know, I think for me at least in the past few years I've just come to terms with the fact that that's not the life that I want. And I'm just setting my own path now, and I don't have to listen to what other people have to say about that. I think as long as you're happy doing whatever you're doing and being whatever you are, that's good enough.
I think I don't have like as much of that external pressure, and I think more of the pressure comes from myself. Like, as I experience life, there are things that I feel like I want, and then I kind of set this like deadline for myself. So turning older and not achieving it makes me feel upset. Like, it disappoints me, and but it's more so myself than anything else, and it's like my tendency to nitpick at like me and compare myself. Yeah.
Do you think it's helpful to yourself that you set these deadlines, or?
I feel like I can't find a medium, like a happy medium where I'm like, you've come, like, it's okay to be where you are, just keep working. I always like fluctuate between like everything will be okay, just relax, and like, oh my god, like you're not achieving enough. So like these like the ups and downs are what kind of keep me going. So I need that pressure and I need that expectation to like keep myself in check. But when it's so overwhelming, sometimes it's not healthy. But I think that's like the only way I've kind of like been able to keep myself going.
Yeah. I think sometimes I do that to myself, to like just putting myself down and saying that I'm not good enough, but just because I've been doing that my whole life, that I'm conditioned myself to use that as a way to push myself to do more. Yeah, but I agree. At the same, it's like it's really hard to find a balance, because at the same time it's just like I go into a place of unhappiness, and then it just all goes a little bit downhill from there.
I think moving to London has kind of also changed how I see age, because like in Singapore, most people go through the system and we all end up in the same place. Like, the people, like we had this conversation, the people that we meet are always similar to us, and it's very hard to like within our environment to meet different people. So we always see people of our age, and we'll inevitably end up comparing ourselves to them. But when I came to London, I realized that like so many people, like all my classmates are all of different ages, and everyone is doing their own thing at their own pace, and it made me feel a lot more accepting of myself. And I try, like, I don't, like, I accept that age has some impact to it, but at the same time there was like, I don't like to compare myself to my younger peers, because there's a reason why I'm older than them, and I try not to take it so hard, because I know that there were the years that I spent like in Singapore before I transferred, or like, yeah, those years, especially because it's more of an academic setting, those taught me so much, like not just in my like studies, but also as a person, like interpersonal skills that I don't want to give up for like being young. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely coming to London has opened up my mind a lot, and I'm so grateful to be here. And I mean, I basically don't want to go back home, but yeah.
We could talk about this
another time.
Yeah, another time.
But, yeah, I agree. Like just being able to interact with different people, different ages, people from so many different countries, and even I guess the way interactions are formed, they're a bit less formal as well between your tutors and people in school. It's a lot less formal than what we were used to, and I think that's really helpful too, because I can just have a casual chat with someone who teaches me, and at least in the industry I work in, always like you might work with them in some capacity in the future too, and I really like that kind of closeness and informality of it.
There's no hierarchy.
Yeah. And also going to the thing about being back home, I think a lot of people back home have this conditioned idea of what success is.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of career success, but that's not really the narrative that I accept anymore, you know. Like for me, like success is how happy and how satisfied I am with my life. It's not about how much money I'm making.
It's very different in like Asian society. And I've had this conversation with the lady I met at the Laksa bar. But she was saying that a lot of Singaporeans like working in like Big Four for like finance, and people here don't, because we value different things. Yeah, so I think like in Singapore we were taught to chase the bag, and versus here it's more like when I talk to my classmates, I ask them like, oh, why are you doing this? And they're like, oh, because I want to. And it's very different, and it's nice to not have that expectation placed upon you.
Yeah, I agree. And even in terms of going to university here, there's not really a big emphasis on being, at least for me, not being, like, you have to be the perfect student, you have to get good grades. It's more about just showing up and exploring things for yourself. I think there's also a thing about doing something arts related.
Yeah, definitely.
You're just trying to find yourself and your voice and how you are as an artist and what you like and dislike, and there's so much room for exploration and failure, of course,
that's important. And I think that's one of the things about growing older that we are kind of scared of, because we were like we grew up in a place where like failure is so frowned upon, but that shouldn't be the case. And yeah, being in an art school definitely, like, it changed my mind. Like the way we approach projects in my school, it's very different, and we don't even have like deliverables, which was mind-blowing when I first in my first term, because I didn't understand like, why don't you want me to produce? But I realized it's not all about like being productive. It's about like the growth and learning, and that was a very important distinction for me. Also, I think one of the things about age is the fact that we are like females. So there's always this like biological clock, because like if we want to have a family, which both of us don't really want that, right?
We were talking about
this on the bus too. Yeah.
I don't really personally don't want kids, because I just think that first of all, it's a huge responsibility, and I don't know how I feel about bringing a life into this world and having to raise them, and no matter how good a parent I will be, there's gonna be trauma that I inflict on them. There's gonna be things that will mess them up a bit, even if it's not from me.
Out of your control. Yeah.
And I just would prefer not to do that.
Yeah. I don't want kids either. I don't really like them. I can't care for them. I feel like I can't be selfless, and I don't want to bring a kid into a world that is not in a good state. I don't think it's fair. Yeah, and like I would want the best for them, and I don't know if I have the capacity to provide that. Yeah, but yeah, being women, whoa, being females, and like there's that I keep thinking about freezing my eggs.
You do?
Yes, because recently Singapore changed their policy about freezing their eggs. And I'm like, oh my god, do I want to freeze my eggs? Because now I have the option. And what if, like, maybe I fall in love with having kids, right? And, like, I want to do it at like 40 or like 50. Yeah, I just keep thinking about it, but it's weird to think about it when I don't like kids.
But you never know. I know a lot of people say this, that you can change your mind, and I get very annoyed when people tell me
Yes,
that.
same.
But because if you think about it, it's 20 years from now, like there's no telling what's going to happen or what you're going to experience might change your life.
Yeah.
But, and it's your body, so if you want to do it, just do it.
I don't have the money. Maybe next. We'll talk about this in 10 years.
Yeah, but also that's the thing of, I think that window, I think I'll just let it naturally pass, and it will pass, because I think even if I hit the age of like 40 or 50 and say like, okay, now I'm ready to have kids, and hypothetically speaking, if I had frozen my eggs, even if I have kids and they're like from babies, like I don't think I have the
from babies.
like,
Oh,
from when they're
like to
babies.
care for a baby.
Instead of like adopting. Like I don't think I would have the energy at that age to do all of that.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Young children are a lot. I think that's what another thing that depresses me from it is just the young kids part. I find them a bit annoying, but I enjoy like preteens, teenagers, like from that age. I know it's controversial.
That's so weird. Yeah, nobody likes that.
Okay, like I don't like toddlers and really young children when because they don't really have a full sense of the world or like anything really.
They don't know anything.
Yeah, they don't know anything. But I enjoy being able to have a conversation with like a 13-year-old, and I know that they have a semblance of the world, and especially at that age, like you think that they're young, but they're actually. I've met some really mature people, and I enjoy that.
I don't think I could enjoy any age of kids. Like hearing you talk about it, like talking about like toddlers and like preteens, I'm like, no, I don't think I like people younger than me.
At all. So if you met someone who's
I feel very awkward.
Brian?
No, I feel very awkward when I can sense that there's an age gap. I somehow have this very like natural instinct to like want to protect them. And I don't like that. Because I'm not meeting anyone who's my kid now. So why should I I care about them, but I feel very protective over them. And it's very weird.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I've never experienced that feeling.
Sorry.
Like, so if you met someone's kid,
like I feel like I want to like protect them from the world, and I don't like that. I don't like that I feel like I'm projecting.
Yeah, but yeah. I feel like that's also a positive thing. Like you just want the best for them.
Yeah. Also, I think when I was like I've never liked kids, and when my younger cousin was like 4, she asked me like, why don't you like me, or like why don't you like kids, and I felt really bad about it, so I was like, okay, I can't do that anymore. Like I have to at least like care for them. And the thing, like you said, how like toddlers don't have any semblance of the world, I think that's like why I also want to like, because I feel like I've gone through more than them, so I want them, like I know what it's like to be cruel to kids, like not to like them, and they don't deserve it because they've never done anything. And like a lot of people talk about this, about how you can't really hate children because they don't know what they're doing, like they don't know what's wrong, so it's not fair to hate them. So that's I kind of want to like shield them from it.
Yeah, that's really true.
I don't want kids.
Yeah, but also they get really annoying when they're screaming.
Oh yeah, I can't stand that. Yeah. I like kids that are quiet and
same.
cute.
I would be fine with a kid if I just had a really quiet kid who enjoyed reading and.
But you can't control that.
I know, that's why that's the thing.
I can't control my kids, and I need to control everything.
Wow.
I need autonomy over things in my life, and I can't control a kid. Yeah. So back to birthdays.
We're straight far from that topic.
This is about age and growing up, I think, like birthdays. Yeah, and we're also talking about how like I think our parents, like this today we were talking about how my mom owned her first apartment at a young age. She was like 23 before she even got married, and like even like sometimes she does remind me like, oh my god, like at your age I was already doing this. So that like has a bit of effect on me, not to like the extent where I'm like crying about it, But like I always end up doing it to myself more than she does it to me. Like comparing, and I guess more than comparing, I see her as a yardstick for success because like I like what she's done with herself and I want to achieve that for myself too. So growing up, like growing older involves like trying to be like my mom.
Mommy issues. Here we go.
Oh, I think that's where the protective thing comes from. Oh god. No,
But
no,
also,
not today.
Yeah, I mean, we're also saying that it's a lot more difficult now to achieve things like that, especially
Yeah,
buying
times
things,
have changed.
Yeah, times have changed.
I wonder how like the biology of women will change with like standards in society. You know, like, because we, like, at our parents' age, they probably gave birth at a certain age and then they had more energy. Like, you were saying how, like, if you're at, like, 40 or 50, you probably can't keep up with a toddler. But it inevitably shifts, like, the age where people do things. So I'm quite interested to see, like, how that develops.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we'll see it in our friends.
I can't wait for our friends to have kids.
Yeah, I can't wait
but I don't know who's gonna have kids. I want to see them married. I want to attend a wedding.
I wish her.
And I want to cry. She's not gonna have. Do you remember we had to convince her that marriage wasn't a bad idea?
But we know she's gonna get married. I mean,
really? I don't know. Not like to like be like, oh my god, I don't know if Wei Shen will get married, but I don't. I'm not sure if she wants to, and ultimately like we can't force her. She's never talked about it.
Yeah. Maybe not then. We need more friends.
In relationships, in stable relationships who want to reproduce, just to see kids.
But maybe that's just a rare thing in our generation now. Maybe we're also like focused, because I think we definitely do see that as a woman, especially, it's not our responsibility to be a wife and have kids and raise them. I feel like that's quite an old-fashioned belief. So, and especially now that we're more career-driven.
It's also to do with the people that we grew up with, because, I mean, there's like we all kind of came from the same place, and we were kind of taught the same values, and we stick with people who share like the same opinions that we do, and that's why I think we find people like us who don't want kids, and we're like, okay, where are the rest? But I think in reality we might not actually get along with these people.
In reality, we actually might still be the minority, and maybe
that's true.
Loads of people that were like, I want kids.
I think definitely.
We want pets.
Yes, I want to be a cat mom.
What, do you have a specific kind of cat?
I want a male ginger cat, like a fat one that looks like Garfield, but I want him to be healthy. Yeah.
I want cats too.
And I want a dog.
Yeah, converted cat lover.
She's a cat lady now. Remember when you used to love dogs? I don't remember that actually.
It was like secondary school, JC. Like I did like dogs, but not to the extent of you.
Oh yeah.
Not to your extent.
I just like animals, I think. Yeah.
Cats. I love cats.
Oh, we can get a cat.
It's
not gonna happen. Yeah.
But that's also a topic for another day.
Yeah. Okay. I think we've covered what we wanted to cover.
Also, shout out to Year 10.
Oh yes.
Inspiring us to start this podcast.
Yeah, Year 10. Have fun studying.
Yeah. Good luck for exams. To anyone who has exams coming up, if you listen this far.
Alright. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to our podcast.
Yes. I have nothing to add.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.